Now you stepping out of your lane once again, so I might have to.
Now you're like, oh my god, I forgot how to make beats. Oh my god, I don't know how to make beats. I forgot. Oh my god, I'm washed. Wah, wah, wah. Like a little
You really had to call them that.
You gonna have the nerve to go on social media, post a little snippet, and be like, OMG, we're so back.
Mind to calm down a bit.
No! You never lost it. So what if I told you most of you aren't experiencing beat block, but creative block instead? Beat block is when you are struggling to create a certain style or genre, while creative block is because you can't get your specific ideas off the way you want to. A lot of you know how to make beats, but you just can't get your ideas off because you have some things blocking your creativity. These are the 3 constraints I identified when it comes to getting your ideas off as a music producer. You can also use this as a template for any other creative field that you're in. Number 1, the constraint of knowledge. I'm gonna get the most obvious one out the way, but it might not be as obvious to some people. So let me explain it this way. If you are a painter, you can draw really well, whatever, you have to understand certain concepts. You can't just pull out a pencil and paper willy-nilly, unless you just like that, bruh. Unless you really just like that, you can't just do that. And it's not much different in the context of music. So as you can see on the screen right about now, I have the producer skill levels chart that I made. On the x-axis, we have you, the producer, and on the y-axis, we have your sauce points. The process of getting smarter and getting better at something is pretty much one and the same, right? So in order to move through the graph, you need to have a baseline level of knowledge and then really understand that to a decent point before you really can just tack on a bunch more stuff and have a good understanding of that. But once you have a good understanding of something, you can then tack on more things to understand. As a beginner, you want to be a sponge to the things you find cool, but you also don't want to overwhelm yourself for information. And then there are also more advanced producers that are kind of in their own way because they feel like they don't need to learn anything else. But no matter what stage of the game you're in, if you can challenge your incompetence, and for some of you get over the feeling of being a nerd or being a part of nerdy shit, you will be able to make a lot more music. Pro tip, with the new knowledge that you have, go back into an old project and see what you can do differently. Number 2, constraint of mindset. Now, a lot of y'all really not gonna understand this one when I say it at first, but catching a vibe or trying to catch a vibe is killing your projects. The reason I say that is because you're supposed to know how to create the vibe as a producer. We are music producers. We produce the music. And now that you're not catching this vibe, now you're like, oh my god, I forgot how to make beats. Oh my god, I don't know how to make beats. I forgot. Oh my god, I'm washed. Wah, wah, wah. Like a little pussy. And then you're gonna have the nerve to go on social media, post a little snippet, and be like, OMG, we're so back. I'm so back. Nigga, you never lost it. And I used to be guilty of this, but that was years ago. And I've been stopped doing that little shit. Start having the mindset of I am a producer, a music producer that knows what the fuck they are doing, and I can make the fuck out of this fucking beat. And also, stop looking outward for sauce. You are the sauce. Pro tip, have a go-to starting point. For me, it's chords, just because it sets up everything from the feeling to the notes I'm gonna use for my counter melody and stuff like that. Number 3, constraints of perspective. Some of you only listen to one genre of music, while some of you just have no musical background at all, and for that, you lack perspective. If you listen to different genres and you make different genres, your taste will expand, your horizons will expand, and it will also contribute to your 10,000 hour rule. About to throw a big word at y'all. It is imperative that y'all fucking build up your taste, build up your music taste, because if you don't build up your music taste, you're gonna always be stumped on that project. You're always gonna be stumped on that project. And when you have all these different examples that you can pull from because of all the music you listen to and all the different genres you've tried to create, and that you have created, you have created, then now, oh, I can just do this, and I can continue to do this, and I can do that. It's not a whole like, oh, I don't know what to do next now, because you have all these different, perspectives you can pull from now. And as you continue to do this process, you'll end up understanding more and more of what's going on in the music. So for example, you might start off just understanding that like, oh, you hear a Zaytoven and then we heard a spin one's 808 or like hit one in the goddamn beat. But now, instead of just listening for sounds, you can listen to how it sounds. You can actually understand the characteristics of what's going on into the music. You can now describe it with adjectives and shit. And some of you think music should just be one way, like the creation process should just be one way. We should only do music one way. We should only do music this way. It should only be this way. Some people think like that. Or some of you do things a certain way because you think you have to do it in that order, in this way. It has to be this way or it's not a beat. False. You create your own formula. The creation process is never linear. You have to take your experience and then create your own formula with what you know. Ladies and gents, remember, you are the sauce. Combine your knowledge and your perspective, and you will always create something that you enjoy that is also unique. I bank on it. Pro tip, since there's so much overlap in music, you can take whatever you like, add it to your current project, and then form it into a cohesive idea. Being limited by genre is your own choice.
Scales FL Studio has and just lay them all out. And here's this one melody that I see all the time. I'm gonna go and see how many of these scales use this combination of notes. Alright, as you can see, that's a lot of, maybe it's like 60% or something. I'm gonna do it again with another very common combination of notes, but this time it's 3. That's even more fucking scales. Alright, so why is this important or whatever? This is a pretty good visual representation in my eyes that would show how these scales are all similar in some way, or that they all follow some type of pattern. You know, it's all really just the same shit over and over again. That's why we made it 12 notes, is so it can be easy to learn or whatever.
I didn't want to give you guys any basic advice like keeping fresh sounds or telling you beat block isn't real, you gotta do this, because like I feel like if you don't actually see where you're lacking at as a producer, then you won't actually really attack it, and you're gonna continue to run into the same problem and the same cycle over and over again. And you can easily break out of that if you listen to what I'm telling you in this video. And if you feel like none of the constraints in this video apply to you at all, then stop overthinking the fucking process. The squares in the notes do not move. 12 notes per octave, nigga. Squares, you can change the fucking time grid, bro. Like, come on, they don't move. They don't move. You just change the BPM, you change the, like, bro, like, it's, everything is the same. So if you feel like I missed anything in this video, or like another constraint, or another point that you can add to one of the constraints, please let me know, comment it down below. I'm interested to hear you guys. And yeah. Silent cookup time, nigga! I'm gonna try my best not to move in this chair because it is squeaky as shit. Y'all might hear it like in some future videos or in past ones. I didn't mean to prolong the upload for this long. It kind of just happened that way. Life is what life does. Working on things, a bit of procrastination, all that good shit. If you made it this far, you have a pretty good attention span. Congratulations. The next upload should be coming out a lot sooner, and I mean like a lot sooner. If not within the same week, then within the next week. Like, comment, subscribe if you enjoy it, man. And I'm gonna catch y'all motherfuckers, man. I'm gonna catch y'all guys, man. You know, I'm gonna catch you guys. You know, I'm gonna see you later. Peace.
Nominate me for best dress of January of 2025.
Every muscle in my body hurts. From fishing, nigga. Can you believe that?
It don't cost nothing to show a nigga love.
All we doing
nigga.
is getting money.
Show a nigga some love, nigga.